Chapter 18, Face Off. Hoping to surround the capital of Sigvarths, Yugi attacks the eastern fortress of Nonba Castle. The majestic Nonba Castle overlooks a lake and used to be the seat of the imperial family. But it was abandoned in the confusion as the empire started to fall. As Yugi's forces approached Nonba Castle, he had found something he had not expected. The imposing castle was being guarded by none other than the master of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Red 2 standing by, all four lit and in the green. Welcome back to YuGiOh the Falsebound Kingdom. And you know what this means? It is time for another showdown with Kyber. It's going to be one heck of a battle and we're still trying to balance our teams. I really should take in just a handful of marshals. Mako's put in work. Joey has put in work. Extra AP for Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. It's not even using a deal of Phantom. So Robotic Knight is going okay. I still have no shock shells. We'll take Joey out of the mix. Mai can come back in. Shimon hasn't had much action, but Tristan can come back in. So we'll keep these teams, and things should be pretty good to go from here. We will have some fairly capable monsters along the way. Now, if we want, we can use the Blackluster Ritual on Yugi's Dark Magician. If we try to use it on Arcana's Dark Magician, we cannot. However, I am saving it because when we get Gaia the Fierce Knight in this upcoming chapter, we will be able to use the Blackluster Ritual and get Blackluster Soldier. So, let's see. I don't have anything I can use. I can't use Call of the Haunted yet. Do I actually have that? Oh, Call of the Grave, that's it. Call of the Grave is very different, because I was thinking Call of the Haunted, because Call of the Haunted was what turned to Zanki, Crawling Dragon, and Crass Clown into their zombie counterparts in the manga and anime. Call of the Grave specifically negates the effect of Monster Reborn, as far as I know. So what does Bless of Moonlight do? So, it boosts Night Adept monsters. So what I'll do is take that off, and we've got several Dianketo the Cure Masters. That's going to be very handy. We'll edit Esperoba's team. Put that on there. Tristan should probably get that as well. That'll do. Tristan does need a little more oomph. And Taya's team. There we are. Taya did very well in the last battle. Mai's going to be very handy. So we'll stick with that team. We really do need to balance things, but we'll get there in the end. We'll have some fairly strong monsters and we can actually get some good experience into things. Good opportunity to save and get going.
So, Yugi, you've come. Kyber, tell me why you're helping Scott. Words have such little value on the battlefield. It doesn't matter what I say, you and I are destined to fight. Right here, right now.
Oh, wait, hang on, I can actually hear you. That split screen is actually a lot handier than just screaming across the battlefield at one another. Come to think of it, how did I hear Bakura yelling to me across the battlefield when he attacked the resistance base? Scott had to program in a phone.
Look, Yugi, split screen is just It's just some Kyber Corp technology I managed to smuggle along with me. Don't worry about it. Let's just get to fighting, alright? Look, if you really want to know why I'm working with Scott, you'll have to defeat me first. But let's be honest, if you know me, you know there's something that's gone wrong if you'll realize who's not here with me. You leave me no choice!
Alright, so we have to defeat Kyber with Yugi. As you might expect. Pretty much stock standard battle. Let's get our ground cannons. Now, let's see. We've got a couple of strong teams coming in. Might get... Whoa. Hang on, who's battling? It's Shimon. Yep, we get thrown straight into a battle because Kaiser Dragon is at least fairly large, but these will not be very strong enemies. Shimon hasn't fought for a little while. But we'll get our advantage. Wouldn't have minded actually having a warrior, but there you go. So, biggest threat, no healers. So we are getting towards the end game. We of course had to have the showdown with Seto Kyber because you couldn't have it any other way, really. There has to be a battle between Yugi and Kyber. We do have one monster we can get in this, and it's a perennial favourite for the series. Gaia the Fierce Knight. We'll find all about Gaia later on. But for now, we'll just have to deal with this team. We do have some very strong opponents, and I'll have to pay attention to our adversaries. I think I will have Yugi face Gaia because there's only the one opponent. And there we go, that's one down already. Those violet crystals are amazingly handy. We've come quite a long way from the start, even if we are a little bit under-leveled just in terms of raw levels and things. Intelligent tactics will always get you the upper hand. I suppose that is, interestingly, just the case how it goes with many strategy games. You've got tactics which define an individual battle. If you know your strategy, you have the long-term battle in hand. But if you're looking for the whole campaign, you need to study logistics. Knowing when and where to move your forces, how to get the supplies to the front line, how to cut your opponent's supplies off. Interestingly enough, that is a point that comes up in Kyber's storyline. One of his missions does actually involve him cutting off major Imperial supply lines. So we can pretty much just maul through these. And it's sometimes why smaller forces can actually be fairly handy. It is the major reason why the Rebel Alliance has the advantage against the Empire. Because they're a small, nimble force that can pretty much strike anywhere, and they're pretty much formless and featureless. When this is mentioned as a problem in the Imperial Handbook, which ties in with the Legends continuity, Wedge's notes in that particular comment remark, "That's not a flaw, that's a feature." Interestingly, when the Rebels become the New Republic and they finally take Coruscant, it's mentioned that they run into the same problems the Empire does. They have notable strongholds they actually have to defend. Let's get Tristan in on this one. So I think I have to head straight across the lake to get to Nonba Castle for our first enemy to turn up. Insect Queen is moving at an absolutely glacial pace. It might be one of the most powerful cards in all of Duel Monsters. But yeah, so Kyber's Blue Eyes. Fairly decent action points. They have polymerization. I really should have brought a Dragon Destroyer. So we've got dragons there and there. And a dragon there. If I brought Taya, I'll bring her along. And fairies. So, are those guns ready yet? Oh, excruciatingly close. Excruciatingly close, but no. Should have built them first. Oh well. Basically, we get the right people with the right equipment and we'll be able to take Kyber down fairly easily. If I can, I'll try and force him to fuse. Because the problem is, that gives Kyber one monster. I don't know if the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon actually gets anything special in terms of special attack. Anything special in terms of special attacks. Ugh. Brilliant, brilliant, just brilliant. But basically, I'm going to make sure it fuses so there's one of it and 3 of me. And I can pretty much wail on it. Like I said, it's being able to plan out those tactics, put the right people in the right places at the right time. And Insect Queen finally attacks. We will get this one in due time, but it's not super threatening. Like a lot of monsters with high stats, it does tend to wind up being a bit stuck in terms of action points, which make them really, really useless. It's definitely a problem for anyone actually using them. Also, I hope I get some shock shells. It's kind of a running joke, the fact that there are no shock shells. At least Hercules Beetle's attack looks pretty cool. Let's see. Might as well focus our fire on this one. But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, it does help to a degree if you've got that flexibility and maneuverability in your forces. But having to defend major bases can wind up becoming a bit of an issue. Of course, actually having a stable headquarters is a considerable advantage, because you've at least got somewhere to set up and regroup. You're not constantly having to run around. Kind of like how the rebels had to evacuate their base at Yavin 4 and spent 3 years on the run before ultimately being discovered at Hoth. And according to Tycho Selku, it will probably take about 12 lifetimes to get the Hoth cold out of his bones. Not to mention the horrors of Wedge's cooking with Tauntaun. Apparently Wedge is not a very good cook. In Starfighters of Adjumar, Hobby actually mentions that the reason he's so convincing at screaming is because he does it all the time, such as whenever Wedge cooks for them or if Wes plans their missions. Neither of them are particularly impressed with that comment. And there we go, despite all the bulk, Insect Queen is down for the count. It is kind of interesting though that there is literally a card that is Bug Spray, Eradicating Aerosol, which Weevil used. He perhaps had it in his deck as a backup to help him destroy his opponent's insect monsters if he got overwhelmed. But Eradicating Aerosol destroys all insect monsters on the field. So our opponent with Darklands monsters. Taya? Oh, they've got ground cannons. Taya? Right, so we have 2 places with ground cannons and healers. So I already know what I'm doing. So that's got that planned out. The trader is here. We don't get anything special. So we'll just have to wait a little bit. If I send Yugi straight across to Nonba, we should be able to battle Gaia, as I said. Once that happens, I will just have him wait for a bit. Oh, that's right. Swordstalker looks like it's a stereotypical fiend, but it's a warrior. Oh, dingus. Oh, that was not my brightest move. This is the problem with things that look obviously evil but aren't. Don't get hung up on stereotypes and prejudice by appearance. Seriously. It does not do anyone any good. They're going to have trouble attacking us, though. though, and we can lay waste to them with impunity. Don't have any abilities yet. I wonder if they actually do get abilities. But that will come in due time. I'll probably be reusing this team at least quite a bit so that in future we can basically have Taya go, oh, you guys are chasing me? Fine, I'm going to wipe you out on my own. The game kind of doesn't account for that, but it's still pretty handy nonetheless. And away we go. Probably not going to be a finisher. Or, well, actually, no, that's a rare case of positive tempting fate. Get the counter up. Yeah, it's definitely been good just sort of going over old Star Wars stuff again and some of the new stuff. I admit that, given this is going to date it, but at the time of getting this recorded, the Book of Boba Fett is a bit less about Boba Fett right now. But the problem was that we kind of had everything that Boba Fett was in Legends is kind of represented by Din Djarin. Mando has taken over that mantle as such. He's sort of the cool, badass mercenary that Boba Fett was in Legends. Like, Wedge is still pretty cool in the current canon, but there is also the issue that, for me, that in Legends he was phenomenally badass. This was a guy that gave Imperial pilots bedwetting nightmares about being chased by him. This was a guy who was able, with incredible precision and timing to the half second, to escape being confined by rogue agents within the New Republic, led by Han's somewhat malicious cousin, and that's an understatement, Thrackan Sal Solo. To give you an idea, Luke Skywalker facepalmed when he heard someone had tried to detain Wedge because he knew what that was going to mean. Not only that, but at one point Wedge is perfectly able to identify that his would-be assailant is his daughter just by her flying style, get in touch with her, and start organising more plans. He even took down an entire Yuuzhan Vong squadron in an unarmed ship, completely fooling the commander of the fleet, who was actually an old pilot in one of Wedge's squadrons, Gavin Darklighter, who achieved the rank of Admiral. Gavin has no idea who he's talking to when he's praising Wedge, but also chastising him for being a little bit cocky. Nothing I need there. Gavin's observation when he sees what Wedge has done is basically, if you develop piloting skills in proportion to your ego, someday they'll call you the greatest pilot of all time. Not knowing that he is talking to a candidate for the greatest pilot of all time. Let's not forget, they could have had him. The Empire could have had him. But in what was an admittedly pragmatic move under the circumstances, Vader chose to let him go at the Battle of Yavin. Can you imagine that? Like, you look back, you realize how much damage this one guy has done. And you've got to be thinking, well, that was stupid. I mean, nobody had any clue that was going to happen. Nobody really knew at the time how badass Wedge was going to be. But he was pretty good. Let's be honest, he was pretty impressive. But it's just taken up to 11 in Legends. And I admit I'm always going to be a little bit sad about that they don't get to show that off. I would definitely love to see Shadows of the Empire make a return, because that was where I got into Star Wars. Dash Rendar is part of the reason I got into Star Wars, and by association, he ties into my love for Nintendo consoles. I will admit that Nintendo does some incredibly crappy things, and they really don't have a good idea of how to engage with their fans. Let's be honest, some groups in the fandom can be absolutely horrible, but at the same time, that slightly old-fashioned and archaic attitude does tend to get them in a bit of trouble. We gotta have a bit of give and take. Like, be more reasonable, be more respectful. on the fan side, but at least acknowledge sort of their complaints. And for heaven's sake, give us a new F-Zero. Like, what's the gimmick in the new Mario Kart going to be? Because, like, you can glide or you can drive underwater. Big deal. That's interesting, but it's not fantastic per se. It's interesting, but other racing games have had flying options. And when it came to the anti-gravity thing, how many other anti-gravity races had there been? How many had done it better? I mean, you want anti-gravity racing, F-Zero GX is pretty much consistently smooth, 60 FPS on the GameCube. And you have all those insane races and insane environments. Like, I admit that Mario Kart has way better multiplayer, don't get me wrong. But I don't think they're quite as imaginative as they're being, as they think they're being, and I don't really know what the quote-unquote new twist is going to be. My own opinion is that it includes a moment where Mario runs for the border with Captain Falcon's body in the trunk because the F-Zero series is dead and Nintendo doesn't want you to complain about it, but I'm going to hold out hope. I mean, Kid Icarus got a revival after 25 years. I mean, it was a one and done, but boy, was it a good one. And I mean, they could at least try. They're in a good position. But sometimes I do think Nintendo gets a little bit complacent when they get into good positions. It's kind of ironic that that's the case, but you look at games like all the ones that are on the GameCube, for example. They were struggling a bit, and the GameCube has some absolute gems. The Wii had some great games, but oh boy, does it have shovelware by the bucket load. It's got so many games, so it's got some seriously good ones. Like, you can't deny that Mario Galaxy is a great game. Twilight Princess was made for that, but ported to... I think it was... Or was it made for the GameCube, but ported to the Wii? I'm not sure, but either way, Twilight Princess is a good one. Mario Kart Wii was popular, even though it's absolutely horrible and vehemently anti-human. And, you got Galaxy 2, Skyward Sword is divisive, but I'm going to be honest, it had some great moments, some genuinely engaging characters. And probably one of the most entertaining villains in the form of Girahim. It is incredible seeing him slowly break down in madness as Link just screws him over every single time. Like, he goes through a serious villainous breakdown and it's incredibly well presented. Now, I'm going to have to wait for a little bit. So, who do I want to send where? Need Esperoba.
My name is Gaia, and I am looking for a master to serve. You are the Resistance, are you not? I must see if you are worthy to earn my eternal loyalty. And there is only one way to find out. We must fight, because apparently, negotiation is completely ridiculous. Everything is solved with trading card duels, or in this case, live monster duels. Come on, let's go!
Oh, Gaia does actually have allies. Oh crap, Gaia actually has allies in their Curse of Dragon. Spiral Shaver, which was made into a spell card. Gaia's signature technique. Alright. So, this is actually a really shallow... Wow, they do not like Dark Magician Girl. Oh, actually, that was Dark Magician, but they don't like Dark Magician either. This... I did not expect this. That is a problem. Oh yeah, also I found out we can press start to see what the battle scores are. Now the strength of our enemies. That is a lot. I should probably focus all my attacks on Gaia, because without them, Without Gaia, the enemy can't fuse. Gotta see out another round of combat. Okay, it waited. If they draw all their fire onto the Dark Magician, that's fine. Alright, this could be tense, but we'll see what happens. They do not like Dark Magician. He has no items. A critical would be nice right about now. Oh, the temptation. Do I heal my team? This Curse of Dragon will probably kill Dark Magician. Oh, this is actually a really tricky one. I heal my team. For some reason, Dian Keto is glitched and tends to make a popping noise. Alright, so that was smart. Gaia waited. If I get one more attack... The battle is in my hand. Don't drop it. And we finish on a critical. I don't have as much healing as I'd like, but we can start raining destruction on our enemies. Alright, they've guarded. Switch target? This is... I thought it was just Gaia. I forgot about that, but this is, like, really good tactics. And they'll just sort of switch who they attack, a bit aimlessly. Admittedly, I do not have the best healing setup with this. I might have screwed up, but... I should be able to hold on. Our score is still going up. I have... They've got more action points than me. I might have screwed up. Just got to concentrate all our fire. What the hell did they do that for? If I heal Dark Magician Girl, I think I should be right because I've got 2 kills. Oh, mama, that was a toughie. So I need to send Esperoba out. And now it picks on Arcanus Dark Magician rather than going for the kill. Our score is skyrocketing. That was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I'd probably have lost big time if they'd fused. Holy crap, the experience! That was good. Hold position here, Yugi. I now understand the power of the resistance. I would like to fight alongside you. Please accept my loyal service. Gaia has joined our army and we've got a brand new fusion. Now let's get some troops positioned and... What are we facing? Wait, how did... Oh crap. Gaia the Fierce Knight made its international debut in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Yugi Starter Deck. In Japan, it debuted in Volume 1, so it's one of the originals from way back in the day. Now on paper, Gaia doesn't fare very well since he's objectively worse than Red Eye Spiked Dragon, just having 100 less attack and 100 more defense. But if we do count Blackluster Soldier, which in some games needs Gaia to be summoned, there is at least one Gaia of every card type. In fact, a pretty solid archetype has popped up featuring Gaia throughout his adventures, so this knight is definitely one worthy of a legendary title. In fact, he often winds up supporting Blackluster Soldier along the way, and of course he's generally pretty handy in this game given all the perks warriors get. Gaia the Dragon Champion made its international debut in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, reappearing in a few compilation sets. In Japan, it debuted in Volume 3 and then in Phantom God, one of the sets which made up our Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Gaia the Dragon Champion does have a pretty good service record in the early anime, being an important part of the first season's infamous jank in the duel with Panic and helping defeat Weevil. While it doesn't win heaps and heaps of battles, it's still pretty reliable in the card game and will be useful in the overall Gaia archetype. As an interesting little bit of trivia along the way, this card shares a link with Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. It's a wind fusion monster with dark and earth fusion materials used by Yugi. A bit of strange trivia, but that's kind of the reason for these presentations in all fairness. Share a bit of fun information along the way. Time to go back into battle. See what we're up against with this one. These monsters might have a fair few AP. We're pretty even on that. So I suppose let's pick on the one with the lowest AP and see what we can do. Well, that's a bad start. Probably start by targeting Sairyu. And then once it's Jinzo's turn, I'll have Jinzo heal itself. This could be a pretty tough one. They are, of course, a bit stronger than my team, but I might be able to chisel out victory. You don't get many points for using an item as far as I know. Or maybe you do, based on how much you heal. I will just have to hope I can cut one of them down. It's not looking good because even though dragons tend to be slow and clunky, these ones are faster than us. And we're just going to have to sit through everything and wait for all their attacks to hit. It's the frustrating part about this. Jinzo I'm probably going to use as a healer. It should be next, and if it's not, I'll be very annoyed. I do wish it was a bit better in this game. There we are. It's very slow progress. The horrible AP of Esperoba's team at the moment. We'll get there in due course once he does battle, but he doesn't have a lot of time to battle. That's his only problem. I don't think they like Jinzo very much, or is that going for... No, it's gone for Jinzo, for heaven's sake. Oh, good. Well, that's the break I needed. Giant Mech Soldier is putting in work, which is kind of odd since it actually has the lowest attack out of this group in the card game. It's a little unusual. It's not very good, but it's putting in work here. Alright, we're safe for now. Soon as I said it, thanks game. That's depressing. That's really depressing. Oh, watch Jinzo die because of that. Well, at least I get to keep it alive, but boy, I've spent most of my time on healing. I'm getting absolutely reamed in this battle because I haven't been able to do more than chip damage, but thankfully, Giant Mech Soldier putting in work with the critical. And now Harpy's pet dragon has to roast us. So we knocked out one of their monsters and we still lost. Well done, Esperoba. Can't do anything without cheating, can you? And Yugi's closing in. We're going to have another battle up north. Come on, Roba, get moving. Oh, and it's Tristan. This should be a lot easier, but for some reason we wound up facing a level 99 Curse of Dragon. How did we wind up with a level 99 Curse of Dragon? Maybe it's because we battled Gaia? I have no idea. But it dies first. Serpent Night Dragon and Thunder Dragon are not going to be problems. Fortunately, we interrupted to Curse of Dragon mid-healing. Ah yes, good old Thunder Dragon, which we only get one of. And the resultant fusion doesn't actually look at all like two Thunder Dragons put together, but we'll get to that later on. Alright, we might get close to finishing it. Oh no. Alright, Serpent Night Dragon was actually one of Rex's stronger monsters. Interestingly enough, I think he played this against Joey in their duel, and then he wound up playing it and lost it in his duel with Esperoba, which we don't see, though Roba won because he was cheating. Alright, that one there, and Giant Soldier of Stone can finish off Curse of Dragon, ideally. The attack can't miss, so... And Thunder Dragon is out of moves. Excuse me? Excuse me, game? I hate it when it does this. Like, in most games where speed is well and truly determined, stuff like that doesn't happen. It's only speed ties you've got to worry about, and even then, those will vary. They can go your way, but they can not go your way. It all depends on what the AI feels like. Though at least they've sorted it out with Pokemon for the most part. And there we are, Thunder Dragon's pitiful HP sees it defeated. Well done, Tristan's team. And good level ups. Panther Warrior gets more AP. Now, can Esperoba make himself useful? Castle left arm is liberated, and it takes Esperoba's team a little while to get going, but when he does, it's much better. Bullying Jinzo again. Granted, we do the same... Oh, wow. That's some real deja vu here. Deja vu is, of course, the feeling that you've seen all this bullshit before. That is basically how the previous battle started out. Critical on Jinzo, screwing up my plans. That parrot dragon is a pest. Better make sure to heal it, because you never know when the AI is going to do something like that. Like, this is mostly a tough one because Roba's team is not very strong and I don't have any shock shells. It is going to be the running complaint of the entire Let's Play. Where are the damn shock shells? Like, machines get to be really good once you actually get your hands on them. But the fact that it's taking so long to get them, I know you can get them. I just don't know why the game won't give them to me. I wonder if you actually get them right in the end game. Or is it just all the same stuff over and over again? Jinzo finally gets to attack. Well, 2 more attacks ought to finish Parrot Dragon off. Esperoba's team has held out somehow. I do think you get extra points for criticals. At least this time, because we have 3 monsters compared to 2, it's a bit easier. Boy, is it tough first time round. It's a lot easier when you get the teams and they're much stronger. There we go. We're not killing Harpy's pet dragon. But we'll at least make a dent in its HP and be able to finish it off. Hopefully Yugi doesn't come in and steal the glory. I am not breaking through its defenses. Like, yeah, the barricade has it set up too strong, and on top of that, the defenses from the castle actually play a hand in giving it greater strength. This is something important to remember, and it's why equip items and sensible healing strategies are actually important. Alright, we should be able to get it. It really is like being stuck with some of those terrible cards in the old days. Because, as I've said, that is kind of the problem playing Legacy of the Duelist, when you wind up getting those really terrible decks in story mode. And some of the reverse duels, oh boy. Jeez, we scraped home by 201 points. Some of those are just ridiculous. Because the decks don't really have any cohesion to them. Oh wait, we got people heading for Tristan. And Esperoba is coming in to finish off this enemy. Limping in more accurately. Stumbling to the finish line, exhausted, bloodied, and having wandered off through a forest for 3 days, even though the 100-meter sprint finished about a week ago. It doesn't matter, we are getting there, we are going to win, eventually, after a really crappy time of things. Giant mech soldier has put in work, a guy with a trench coat and a cross between bondage gear and Darth Vader's mask, and a cybernetic dinosaur with pimples. That's our team. May heaven have mercy on us all. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Really should have considered putting Labyrinth Tank on this team. Like, Labyrinth Tank is as strong as these without having to do anything. Labyrinth Tank is kind of broken in this game. Yeah, next battle I'm putting Labyrinth Tank on the Die! I would have that play at twice the length of the animation just to make sure it was dead. Thank God we've actually got there. That was annoying. We have liberated Castle Right Arm. Wow, that guy took a really, really long time to cover that distance. Well, this shouldn't take too long. Panther Warrior is just ridiculously good at everything it does. Seriously, Panther Warrior is broken and you should use it as much as possible. Looking at that, there's almost a bit of a Sentai hero in that armor. It's, I don't know, it's just something... It looks like something out of some Kamen Rider show or something like that, and it's guarded. This should be pretty easy. This one's thankfully a breeze, because we got that huge level up from destroying level 99 Curse of Dragon. The experience was phenomenal. Because I think we actually get a big advantage from taking down higher level monsters, which is really good. So there we are, wiped out effortlessly. We got barely any points for wiping it out. Hey, level up! That's my man. Well done, Tristan. Actually putting in work. As opposed to being a glorified cheerleader in the anime. Now, who's next? I need a supply unit. We haven't seen the supply unit very often. So, what we do with our supply unit. We replenish... equal to a certain percentage of the cost. I think it is equal to the full cost. So, let's get healing and then I can find out what we've got at the traders. Dark Magician Girl will heal in time. Oh no. Robot, take care of this. I'm probably going to have to skip through this. All my carefully laid plans. Magician of Black Chaos made its international debut in Premium Pack 1. It has later reappeared in various Yugi themed sets. In Japan, it debuted properly in Premium Pack 3 after being a promo for the second YuGiOh video game, which was Japan's version called Dark Duel Stories. Magician of Black Chaos famously helped Yugi over the line against Pegasus. Interestingly, Pegasus was quite scared to face off against it, though it didn't really get much chance to shine afterwards. It's a little impractical these days, being fairly powerful but having no effect, and still requiring the ritual to summon, but this card can still see use in a Dark Magician themed deck. Fittingly, he helps power up Dark Magician Girl, even though he wasn't released at the time, so the two of them are able to perform the special combination attack Dark Magician can pull off as well. This monster is exceptionally capable throughout this game, perhaps in compensation for being so hard to get. Hyozan made its international debut in Spell Ruler, then showed up in some re-release sets and Kyber's Structure Deck Evolution. In Japan, it debuted in their set titled Pharaoh's Servant, but had fewer appearances. Hyozan is part of an unofficial series of gem-based dragons that are all normal monsters. We have the two Luster Dragons being based on Emeralds and Sapphires, and the anime-only Ruby Dragon, which resembles the level 4 Luster Dragon, in addition to Alexandrite and Labradorite dragons. Hyozan also ties in with the Chemical series, like Carboneddon, Oxygeddon, Hydrogeddon, As diamonds are entirely carbon, despite this, its name can translate as iceberg dragon. It will at least live up to some of the fabled toughness of diamonds with its great defense.
Alright, thank heavens. The Million Mook March is over. Yugi, go and take down Kyber. Let's put this fast to an end, shall we? So I still have no shock shells. This has been unbelievable. I have dragged my way through the mud to get here. It has been a long and frustrating... Oh, at last, level 4 magic. Okay, so she doesn't have a special attack, but level 4 magic is going to be a blessing. So, Yugi, you've come. Wait, who's recycling my script? I want new dialogue each time I'm said, "Oh, Kyber, I deserve better than this." Anyway, you're here. Kyber, I don't know what you're thinking, and I'm not going to ask. It would be far too terrifying to work it out. But if you're working with Scott now and choose to face me, I will fight you with everything I have. I like your determination. I'd expect nothing less from my lifelong rival who I met only a couple of years ago. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be able to face you. Again. This week. Bring it on. I will not back down from this fight. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Alright. Let's focus our fire and try and draw Blue Eye's ultimate into the open. Kyber gets fancy boss music, which I believe was a boss theme in major boss theme in Forbidden Memories. Next time I can equip Dark Magician Girl with level 4 magic. She's finally got that. Hopefully it won't be too long before I can get the special attack. So the Blue Eyes are a bit on the slow side, but they're also quite strong. Thankfully, our magicians are pretty fast. I've got to be careful in case something really stupid happens. Okay, critical. Are they going to gun for... They are going to gun for my Dark Magician. I've worked out that you get 100 points for attacking, and you might wind up getting a certain number for defending as well. Really do not like Dark Magician. But then again, that is to be expected. Excellent. I managed to bait him into fusing. Aha. That is a problem. It does have a special attack that allows it to hit all enemies. But as long as I keep my team healed, which I shall do here, we've got nothing to worry about. So, Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon has the Armor ability, which reduces the damage it takes. It also has Super Stamina, which allows it to heal, and Status Guard, which protects it from special effects. So, it could have used its special attack. You, as the player, will have to be smarter. It's very strong, but the problem is that we can work around its damage. It only gets 1 turn. We get 3. I don't know if that missed or if that hit. It looked like it hit. I mean, it's a big target. Mind you, it's got such a high pool of health that we're doing chip damage at best. But every little bit wears it down. It really has it in for Dark Magician.
So if I keep healing Dark Magician, I should take it down fairly easily. Because he's not doing the intelligent thing. Will I be able to knock it out in time? I've got to concentrate all my fire on it if I want to take it down this battle. Just got to concentrate all fire on that Super Star Destroyer. Wait, did it? It guarded. Hold position. Kyber! Wait, he's stalling to restore its health. Oh no. He's missed. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a bit. Because I just realized that was actually an intelligent move on Kyber's part. Wait and see what he does next. Right, so I've got to use Dark Magician Girl's AP to heal this one. That was a surprisingly intelligent move on Kyber's part. That completely threw me off. Okay, again I've got to wait. Right, now I can use Arcana's Darkman. So my cunning plan backfired. My cunning plan really backfired. I've got to pull back. I've got to pull back and replenish my items. Despair from the Dark made its international debut in Dark Crisis and has made several other appearances since. In Japan, it debuted in Power of the Guardian, one of the sets comprising Dark Crisis. Despair from the Dark shows up on quite a few card artworks as a powerful adversary to warrior-type monsters like Marauding Captain. It is shown to have a full body rather than the spectral form here. It is indeed a fearsome foe with the best defense of any zombie and the ability to summon itself if sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect. It can actually serve as a capable assistant with Dark World decks, or, ironically enough, as a counter to some vampire decks and the various zombie cards within. Even without that, it's still just a very handy beat stick with a pretty cool artwork. Overdrive made its international debut in Pharaoh's Servant, finally making a reappearance in Demo Deck 2015. In Japan, it debuted and made its only appearance in Thousand Eyes Bible, also known as Thousand Eyes Spellbook, and one of the sets which made up our Pharaoh's Servant. Overdrive stands out for somehow not having its Gatling gun censored on its original art, though it was for the trap card Pole Position. Its weapon makes sense when you realise its Japanese name is Gatling Buggy. It's based on the Humber Scout car and seems to have a rivalry with Oni Tank T-34, itself based on a Soviet tank. The two vehicles can get themselves into fierce races, as seen on both Pole Position and Chicken Race. Other than all that, Overdrive is admittedly a fairly unremarkable monster all told. St. Joan made its international debut in Labyrinth of Nightmare and reappeared in Dark Beginning 1. In Japan, it debuted in Spell of Mask and had a couple more appearances. Unsurprisingly, this monster is a direct reference to Joan of Arc, with her fusion materials not only reflecting redemption of sorts, but referencing her faith and the banner she carried bearing the names Jesus and Mary. Various cards depict a little story for her. She goes from a standard warrior as Noble Knight Joan, to this card, the Maid of Orleans, and then finally, after truly becoming a saint and descending to heaven, she's Guardian Angel Joan. Jane, Lightsworn Paladin, and its Twilight Sworn form are apparently tied to this card as well, and she was Serenity's ace against Nesbit, winning the duel for her, Duke, and Tristan. Alright, sorry about the delays. We got back to the Million Mook March again, but now that we're at night, I should have the advantage. I can't believe I stuffed that up. I got seriously arrogant and Kyber actually made an intelligent play. I guess guarding can be pretty good when you've got that many AP on your side. But we should be able to knock one of them down. It's a lot better when we wind up getting magic on our side. Some of these battles are so arduous the first time around. And let me guess, they've got a hate on for the Dark Magician. And missed. We get points for them missing though. I'm probably going to be goofing around and abusing the score function a little bit. But yeah, some of these crucial battles are incredibly difficult first time around. As you build up stronger monsters and get better abilities, it becomes a breeze. I really do think the first story you play through is the hardest. Let's continue raining death and destruction because they can't do anything with one of their number dead. Now, it's nice to actually bring Buster Blader along, but we could get a really good warrior monster on Yugi's team. And we're going to at the start of the next one. Which actually brings up a really, really cool point. When you actually see some shots of Yugi's grandfather's shop in... I think that one's missed Dark Magician both times. In Yugi's grandfather's shop, there is actually a poster of Blackluster Soldier facing off against Harpy's pet dragon, which is actually what happens when Yugi faces Mai in the Duelist Kingdom Finals, which is pretty impressive. I don't know if it was intentional, but it was a nice touch. Like... Well, I actually know it probably was intentional, it's just that they probably did it as a homage to the manga. Because the manga had the showdown first, so they probably put it there as a bit of foreshadowing for the anime. So, I'm soon going to be able to use Dianketo the Cure... No, Gift of the Mystical Elf. That's the magic I mean, and that will keep my team in tip-top condition. If I've got Raimei... Oh. Well, Dark Magician missed. It's a battle of the Stormtroopers. Alright, we'll take a little time to heal because I should be able to knock it out. The fight is mine anyway. It's just a formality from here on in. But when you get Dark Burning Magic, I think that's the name of the attack. Oh boy, do things like this become so much easier. When you can use those combo attacks to rip through people. I do have another monster to get in the next chapter. It's another Harpy Lady, so there's no profiles. But that will mean Mai can finally unleash her totally broken team. Oh, we're almost done. We are almost done. This chapter has been annoying. We've had the Million Mook March. We've had all sorts of interesting matchups. And I nearly got myself killed through my overconfidence. You are going to finish it off, Dark Magician. As it should be. I'm really glad that didn't backfire on me. Phew! What a mix-up. We've nearly got level 5 magic. Because I think level 40 is when Dark Magician gets that. There we are!
Ah! I've lost! Kyber, neither of us wanted this fight. There is something else influencing you, isn't there? Humph. I could feel your pain as we fought. You could not hide it with your words.
Huh. I never thought I'd be the one that lacked a cool head. Alright, I'll tell you everything.
Wait, everything?
Well, not everything. Everything relating to this situation. There are things you don't want to know about, trust me.
Okay. Tell me.
Scott has kidnapped my kid brother, Mokuba. He's got him locked up somewhere. I know. I really need to do something about that. Maybe I need to put Mokuba on a leash. I might as well put him in a Princess Peach dress at this rate because he gets kidnapped at about the same frequency. Poor kid.
What?
Scott has some kind of strange power in this world. He took Mokuba's soul and blackmailed me. You know, he's kind of cribbing off Pegasus' plans. He's really not that original. He said that I had to defeat you if I ever wanted to get Mokuba back. Now that I've lost, Mokuba will be lost forever.
Maybe not. Don't give up yet, Kyber. If Scott's borrowing Pegasus' plans, I'll just take care of him like I did in Duelist Kingdom. Scott's been trying to make us suffer by creating a situation that would lead to extremely brutal battles. Not sure what his plan is yet, but as long as you're alive, he's bound to try and use you again. When he does, it should provide the chance I need to go and rescue Mokuba.
So, we've got a rescue mission coming up. Once again, we have to wind up saving Mokuba, who just seems to keep getting kidnapped. The kid's resourceful. The problem is he's just a kid. And he doesn't appear to be very good at a children's card game, because if you can at least persuade your kidnappers to take you on in a children's card game and win, they're on bound to leave you alone. Anyway, we will stage an exciting rescue in the next one. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.